Welcome in, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm Freddie Akiba, Rabbi Akiba Ben David. Appreciate you coming out today. Thank you to all my new members, to all my new subscribers. Thank you for showing up. All right. So I had got a message. I was trying to go live with, they did it right there. What I tell you, we got to see what this is. The devil. Okay. So your spirit team is out here. All right. That's the energy that I got. Initially, I was going to go live and then my Wi-Fi was messing up. Okay, so there's something about your family, this devil, the bloodline here, something from your past. Something's being concealed from you that your spirit team is trying to show you. Okay, they're fighting a battle here. Something here. Something about an Eight of Swords in reverse. Some kind of binding to this toxic energy in your bloodline. A generational curse, okay? To your home. So we know that each of these wands is a spirit of fire. So these are like the four corners of the temple of the body in spirit, right? So somebody's attacking your spiritual foundation. Could be of your belief system. Okay, but they're going after your bloodline. We got the 6 cups here to the 10 pentacles. Okay. Yeah. To the 9 swords. So these people have kept you in a state of mental confusion. All right. Worrying. Maybe having difficulty sleeping at night. Okay. Yeah, you're worried. I think these people are worried about this dark magic, okay, being reversed. So there's some kind of, they fear you. Okay. So this 9 of Swords could be to this Emperor in reverse, to the devil. So you could be dealing with a toxic, whenever I see the devil, I'm always considering the fact that it's a cult. Okay. There's some kind of dark energy. The 4 wands are crowning this devil, and the 10 pentacles are the root of the devil. Okay. Yeah, you're dealing with some kind of narcissistic energy who wants to win at any cost. So there's some kind of community out here of people that have been attacking you, targeting your finances, keeping you in a state of mental anguish, overthinking, and grief. Okay. And I feel like that's being released from you. And your spirit team is stepping in on this situation. I feel like they're pissed. Whenever I see the devil, I get the energy of anger, right? So they're pissed. Your spirit team is about to whoop some ass out here. Karma's about to hit some people because this magic is being reversed here. Excuse me. Some kind of communication going on about it. So you've got 10 pentacles to the 6 cups. They don't want you to manifest. There's something in your blood that's important, okay? There's some kind of tower. So some false structure in this 4 wands to this emperor, because the emperor is all about the measurer. So in essence, it's like this. He's like the regulator. He's like Thoth in a sense, okay? He sits in a lofty position in the mountains somewhere. But this is like the master mason. This is like the grand master of the Freemasons, like for real, of the Mother Lodge in England, all right? Sitting upon somebody has a royal, they consider themselves to be a royal bloodline and authority figure in a sense. This person is a measurer. So he uses the square and the compass in order to, this is the dignifying of the measured form of reality, a builder. This is the master builder. So this person is a high-ranking Freemason. Yeah, you might not be seeing this devil energy because you might be kind of too caught. This person's got a tower that's destroying their foundation that they drew out. And that's what the square and compass is. The square, all right, gives you the right angles, and the compass gives you the circle. So what it is, it's referring to is squaring the circle, all right? And that's what the idea of the energy of Aries is, of reasoning and the mental capacity, all right? And that's what those two horns are, the dual encephalon, all right? Right there. The division of the brain and the eye of the sight, of vision. Because he's like the eagle. He sits on high, all right? And he's able to observe. This person, you got high-ranking people out here targeting you with black magic, trying to bind you in this 5 swords of energy. They want to take your money. They're coming for your bloodline. There's something special about your bloodline, okay? It's like you receive these energies from a higher source. So some kind of download, intuitive nudge is smacking the crown of this person and turning them upside down. Okay? Yeah, they were coming for your destiny. So this is a destiny swap. Because you're the star. Aquarian energy. Okay? And you're a master builder yourself. All right? So you're a manifester. You could be a manifester of love. Yeah, this person, I feel like somebody in their team is betraying them, is providing some kind of communication and knowledge that they don't know about in secret. All right, there's some kind of words here. And see, that's the whole idea of the measured form. When you put the circle in there, it's always inscribed. The north, east, south, and west, the 4 corners of a building in the structure. So like when the Masons ever build a temple, the northeast corner of that temple is where they bury like the bull's head and things like that. Very strategically positioned to the northeast corner. And there's a reason for that. That's why the Master Mason goes in search of the lost word, but he travels westward. And the reason for that is the magnetosphere of the earth, all right, has a westward drift. So it goes in a westward motion around the earth, all right, from the North Poles like this, the dipole component, north to south, and then there's this westward drift of the magnetosphere, all right? And so it goes west. And so the Master Mason follows the magnetic dipole component of the earth in the cycles of time. That's why the square and the compass is what it is. This person has been betrayed. They could be removed. Their crown could be being removed, being in reverse, their crown. Okay. They tried to throw 10 swords on you. They tried to throw 10 swords on these 8 stars, okay? And these 8 pentacles. Excuse me. If you count the stars, and if you want to know the secret, I'm going to give you the secret of the star card. One of the secrets. Notice, trying to cover Earth. Okay. Notice how her leg is shaped like this. Okay. See that shape? That is the Big Dipper. That's a secret. All right. This is the mouth. Okay. The origin of the vibrational flux of all life. This is the womb. Right? This is the celestial canopy. All right. This is Astarte, the star. This is Ishtar. This is what in Egypt was that starry canopy over the entire zodiac. All right. So it's from here that issues forth creation. So generally speaking, in Kabbalah, the Hebrew letter Peh is attributed to the tarot card, the Tower. But that's incorrect. Peh is the mouth as the organ of speech, okay? And if you look at the letter, you'll see the letter and there's like a little thing hanging off here like a tongue in the letter. You see, because each of the Hebrew letters are universal conscious archetypes. Let me show you the letter so we can, pardon me, you can get a better idea what I'm talking about. Because these are not just letters, all right? Right here. So that's Peh. And you'll see the mouth right here. And this is where the origin of all life comes from. Every one of us, before we are born, is a star, right? We're star seeds. Okay, so you're a star seed. And that's why they're coming for your bloodline. Because you have something in your blood that's very important that they want to take out. Okay? So this is actually Capricorn. And this is the Big Dipper, around which the pole star is, which right now is Polaris, right? Polaris, the opposite star. Now, there are 7 pole stars, okay, in the precession of the equinoxes. Every 26,000 years, when we go through each sign or each age of the zodiac, okay, there are 7 pole stars that shift through time. Those are the 7 heads of the dragon. For example, the pyramid in Egypt, okay, the Great Pyramid is aligned, of course, to the star system Sirius, Orion, but also to Draco, Alpha Thuban, the star, the alpha star of the dragon. Okay, this is a great secret. And now that dragon has 7 heads because there are 7 pole stars that are in, that the ages go through. So in 26,000 years, the pole star will change 7 times. And there are 7 specific stars. So right now, we are in from Polaris to Vega. And Vega is considered Maya, or justice, truth. The mother, Muth. Maya, Muth. Okay? Something being birthed here. Could be happening in Pisces. Okay, with the moon out here, something concealed and hidden. You see, because the vibrational flux, you'll notice in this card right here, you'll see this is where all the waters initiate from outside of the high priestess in tarot. So there's the high priestess, and then the waters pool right here together, and then they spread out. And that's what the Hebrew letter Peh actually means. It's Peh, He, Peh. So the Hebrew letter He, which is associated with the emperor. Okay, so you got the emperor and you got the star and the mouth here. So something is being exposed. Okay, it's naked. All right, and you'll notice here, this is the garden, and you'll see 5 rivulets of streams. This is the Garden of Eden, and these are the 4 streams that issue out of the garden. Gan Eden, right? And each one of those streams, if you read the Genesis account, all right, is actually a stream of time. It equals those 4 corners. These are the streams that issue out of the Garden of Eden. Because the Garden of Eden is that central point from which the star originates, okay? So now here you have the central star. Around those are the 7 stars of the dragon. Now, if you recall in Revelation, the dragon breathed life to the 7-headed beast of the earth. So the earth, electrically, the ionosphere is the the magnetosphere is Babylon the Great. It's like the tower. Okay, she has fallen. All right? She made the kings of the earth rich with her wealth. Okay? That's what she's done, utilizing this energy. Okay, so there's something here that's being torn down. Some kind of work that they did, because your angels and your ancestors are all up on this shit. Okay, something's being protected here and guarded, your bloodline. So there's something about a cycle of time with the Wheel of Fortune out here. Your destiny. Okay? See, 2 wands are covered up by this tower. Okay? And this tower is crowning the devil. There's some kind of binding here to something, all right? And you see, this is Cancer. And here's the star, the starry canopy. This is Cancer, and this is Capricorn in the esoteric tarot. You'll never find that anywhere else, just so you know, okay? Anyhow, so there's something here. You see, because Cancer, you recall, is where, that's like the manger in the biblical narrative of Jesus, right? So Jesus was laid as the star. He was the star. He was the sun. He was that. That's why the Magi followed the star. They were following the star Sirius, right? There's something being birthed and manifested, protected, you see, because Cancer and Capricorn are the two gates of life and of death, in essence. And life and death is in the power of the tongue, or pe. You see? So the vehicle is the expression of the internal self. This is the higher self being given a bodily form and manifestation. And here are the senses without any reins. Okay? Something is being manifested in your life and birthed. And I think they want to block that. So you could have reached a level in your destiny, okay, in your destiny, in which, yeah, there's conflict over this, okay? So they've raised up these wands after you, and they sent some kind of toxic person to your life to bind you, all right? With Cancer and Capricorn, those are the two gates. So we have the solstice periods here. This is the winter and the summer solstice period. There's some kind of divine light here. You'll notice you see the sun and then you see the night. All right? And this chariot, this is the same being that you see in ancient Egypt, where she's dipping over like that and all the stars above her. This is what this is. You see, they say we come through the manger. So when the star entered into the sign in the solstice period of Cancer is when Jesus was born in the sign of the Virgin, or Virgo. All right? And they were following that star. And that's what I'm trying to say about these Freemasons. They know about those kinds of things. That's the knowledge that they possess in secret, is the secret cycles of time. And that's why they targeted me. Just so you know. They're trying to get away with some kind of murder here. Some plot, okay? They want to, yeah, they're greedy. Okay? So you got some greedy Eastern star out here. Thinks she's queen shit working with this dark practitioner to bind your bloodline. Okay? Because they know that you're the King of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. You have mastery. And you're a high priestess. So you're highly intuitive. And if you want to know another secret here, okay? This is Job, Yod and Beth. Beth being the house, okay? Yod being the entranceway as you enter into the temple. Now this is the feminine womb matrix, where all the water issues from in the tarot is from the skirt of the high priestess, okay? And these behind her, this veil, is the veil of the feminine veil, physical feminine veil, entering into the temple. So right here is the twin pillars of the temple. The word issues forth from the most holy, the holy of holies right here. This is the holy place. And then this is the entranceway where the twin pillars resided. And that's what Job signified in the Bible. That's where you get the word job from. Okay? So Job actually represented a cycle of time, or the dipole component of the earth. That's what this actually represents, the north and south poles of the earth. And the entranceway into the earth is in the north, where the star is. So that star is guiding everybody. These things, this knowledge, okay, this truth is highly significant. This is how they maintain their power structure over us. We don't have the correct measure of time, okay? So something here is dealing with time. I feel like time is up. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting here, okay? Time is up over this situation, and they don't want to give up. So they're still trying to win at any cost. These people have violated spiritual court, all right? There's been some kind of judgment handed down here, all right? So you got the high priestess with the 8 swords underneath of her. So if you want to know about Job, Okay, and the 10 people of his family. This were the 10 generations of Job, right here. And it represents, again, like I'm telling you, when the poles shift. All right, that's when Job's children were all killed, right? So this is Kabbalah. So somebody's trying to hold on to 4 pillars of magic. All right? And I feel like they're really targeting your head and your heart with their magic. So it's like you can't move from this situation. You're stuck. They're trying to keep you stuck. Yeah, these people could have been celebrating a little bit too early. Oof, Lord have mercy. Yeah, the moon, again. And see, we got here. Somebody's in some kind of an illusion and deception. All right? There's some kind of, you see each of these look like little dots. These are actually yods, the Hebrew letter yod, right? And there are 19 of these yods on this card. And you'll see 13 on the sun. Also on the tower card. Okay? These yods equal 22. So there's 22 yods on this tarot card, representing the circle. So there's a division of the cycle of time. Somebody was coming for your crown. All right? They didn't realize that you're a star. Okay? They didn't realize that you got the star energy. And you're an earth angel. So they were targeting an earth angel here, trying to take away your dominion, trying to take away your power. Okay, they're trying to diminish your power by keeping you in a position, a state of mental, just conflict, constantly worrying, being overwhelmed by your thought, overthinking, not being able to sleep, right? But you're being protected. So they rose up 6 wands. They might have even used your family against you. Okay, because each one of these wands is like your generation. You could be fighting your family right now. And that's what these 5 wands are to the 7 wands. So it could be some kind of conflict in your family that they created. And that's what they do. They stir up conflict. They turn family members against each other. Okay? Because they manipulate people that are easily persuaded in your family to believe anything they tell them. All right? They're master manipulators. That's just who they are. Okay, they're trying to get away with something. Somebody could be trying to escape like a community here. Look at this community. Like you feel like you're stuck in this community and you're like, all right, it's like a Masonic cult. They got all their banners up here, all their cult flags. And that's what they do. You can look throughout all, and those who know already know what I'm talking about. You'll see these signs like the chevron. All of their businesses have their Masonic and occult symbols attached to them. So the people, like their own people, will know what the business is. You get what I'm saying? But the common folk don't. All right? There's some kind of psychic or astral attack here. All right? And I feel like your spirit team and your ancestors are really, really pissed. And they're not putting up with this shit anymore. They're putting their foot down on something here. Okay, let's move on to another deck here. What do we got? Yeah, let's see. Let me get the... Where the heck did... Oh, duh. Let's look. Okay. Yeah, there's something hidden here. But what I was saying about the yods, the yod is the division of the moon. 164. So, for example, when you attach the other sign, which is Virgo, okay, Virgo, yod, and the Hebrew letter Kaf, okay, the back of the head. All right. So there's something to deal with subconsciousness here, something dealing with, the brain stem. Okay. Right here, as it goes down. And yod together with Kaf is 164 plus 168, which equals 206, which is the cubit measure, 20.6 inches. Everything I'm telling you is about this measured form. This is a Masonic cult. This is the Masonic death cult. They're using some kind of dark magic here, okay? Black magic on you. Chaos magic, all right? Something's concealed, but when you add those two together, like I said, yod and Kaf is 206, which is the Hebrew word debir, which is the word. Now the word issues forth right here from the mouth. And that's where Jesus was born, the star, in the sign of the manger, with the animals. So zoologic animals. So the zodiac is the wheel of the animals. So he was in the manger, which is the partitioned off quarter for the animals to reside in. The square. You see the oblong square there. That's dealing with. That's why Jesus was said, when John the Baptist was assassinated by King Herod, okay, his head was cut off and was put on a silver plate. Now, John the Baptist, or Jonah, the dove, which is Venus, okay, it's all about the cycles of time, everything. So, John was born 6 months prior to Jesus. Jesus baptized with fire. John baptized with water. These are the twin solstice periods of Cancer and Capricorn. All right, these people are perverted, in debt. Yeah, I'm telling you, they sacrifice, man, you already know, okay? All right, yeah, under mind control. So this is how they do your family. So you got to be really careful if you're targeted. Because if you're targeted, your family is targeted as well. And they're coming for your bloodline, all right? Whatever side of that bloodline that your spirit comes through. Like, for example, it is known, and it is a fact, in Israel or the Jews, it was the mother that concealed the bloodline, okay, of the kings. But in principal form, in fact, we would see the outward display of the king. But the power behind the throne, we always know, was the queen, right? So what I'm saying is somebody, they target the bloodlines, and when they do that, they target your family members to convince them of lies. So your family has been targeted here, all right? Or could have been targeted and could be under some form of, what I just say? Mind control. Justice is out here. Something could be, like I said, there's something here that your ancestors and your spirit guides are just done. They're done. They ain't having no more of this shit, and you're being set free. Okay, you got the Eight of Swords here in reverse, and it could be in Pisces. That could be retrograde. All right, something is, and to me, that's your South Node. You see, they don't want you to enter into your North Node because that's where your destiny lies. This is where your generational wealth is. It's in your North Node for everybody. So breaking free of generational curses is, in fact, okay, entering into your North Node. Okay. They want to keep you stuck in grief and holding on to something maybe that you no longer have, okay? Something that maybe you need to let go of. Or you're holding on to what you have in order not to lose it. That's kind of what I see here. Because you're dealing with a spiritual narcissist, a dark practitioner that's trying to run away from this justice and these legal proceedings. Again, like I was saying, these are the people that sacrifice these people. Okay? And it's this Jezebel right here. Eastern Star, trying to get this life insurance policy off of sacrificing a child to Molech. Okay? Double confirmation. Yeah, it's a fucking cult. Okay, so you're dealing with a perverted ass cult. Could be in debt. All right, because you're still alive. There's something here. They're trying to sacrifice somebody here. This could be a couple, like I was trying to tell you. There's a warlock and there's a dark witch, a Jezebel, Eastern Star Jezebel, and they're trying to sacrifice your child. Because that's it. They can't take you out. They got to have somebody. It's all part of the game, man. It's all part of this humiliation. It's all part of that death ritual. Just big money on these bloodlines. Okay? So there's some kind of toxicity here, that your family might have. Drug addiction. There's some kind of perversion out here. All right, yeah, there's a death here. And this is what they bury in that northeast corner. Okay, this measured form, north, east, south, and west in this cube. He actually sits upon a cube of space. Here, let me show you, pardon me. Real quick, okay? have to show you this because you want to see it, right? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, let me see. Oh, there we are. All right, cool. Thanks. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, the Emperor. All right? He sits upon a cube of space. Now, if you look at it, this is the esoteric tarot. All right? This crown he's wearing, okay, this armor, is the Hebrew letter Kaf, the back of the head, because it represented eastward. So the Hebrew letter Kaf with the moon is that which preceded which was before in time. And this is where the evolution of spirit occurs. You have the wolf and the dog. So every dog we see on the earth today was genetically manipulated to be from a wolf. True story. So this is also, if you'll notice, this is sulfur. You see the triangle shape? And then his legs is a cross with the cube of space. So he sits upon the cube. It's a cross and an upper triangle that is red. This is sulfur in spiritual alchemy. Yeah, somebody's pissed. They got a fiery temper. Okay, they're pissed that their magic isn't working. And it was this death magic. So they put some kind of ritual out here. Okay, they're in regret. Yeah, because they're perverted. They're disgusting human beings. What do we got, Spirit? Yeah, greedy. What'd I tell you? Yeah, they're coming for the money. Okay, so there's some kind of money on the table with this life insurance policy. And they maybe want revenge, abuse, and neglect. Okay, I feel like your spirit team wants revenge. All right. I mean, this could be aliens coming from outer space, bro. Okay, our spirit team is made up of aliens. I don't care what anybody says. You can laugh at me all you want. All right, and they're providing you a boat. Now, this is where you are being protected and guided and directed. So some kind of protection is around you. Carrying your bloodline across the water. Okay, there's a boat here. This could be a spaceship in outer space, man. All right, you think I'm joking? The Freemasons got all of their knowledge from the reptilians. Okay, facts. And that's where they get their power from as well. And that's why they got those deep underground military bases, those dumbs, where they take all the children to be sacrificed to Molech. Interesting. And this is all part of the New World Order agenda, my friends. You got to put it all together here, okay? It's extremely important. There's some kind of missing information out here, okay? You got the justice system out here and this life insurance, and I think there's money with this child and this couple. So these people, this is that Hollywood death cult. That's what it is, okay? And this is what they do. They sacrifice these kids, man. They take their money. They take all their money is like energy, right? Money is currency, like the currency, right? And the bank is the side of the river, right? Where the money flows. And that's something there is missing. So they're not getting, something isn't, yeah, and you know what this is. Again, your intuition is on point right now. So you, somewhere in the mountains, like I was saying, this person could live in the mountains, okay? And they have like a whole cult community established, all right? Could be a drug addict. That's what these people do. That's all they do. They use illicit drugs and then they sacrifice people. And then they allow other people in their cult to watch what they do. Yeah. What does she say? She says, if I did it, you can do it, right? All the while in the background, you hear this kid screaming while they're being unalived. And other things before that, if you get my drift. Spirit, you're dealing with aliens. All right, that's who gives them actual power. That's who Molech represents. The reptilians. Whew. You could be dating an alien? Oh, shit. Yeah, they're watching you. Lord have mercy, what we do? And there's a cover up here, pardon me. Yeah, what I say, a celebrity serial killer. That's what they are. So like the underground world, right? So in the underworld, this Jezebel is like a queen of the damned, right? Like a vampiric energy. And they get so much rank and power by sacrificing. It's like they're trying to take out my last reading, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? So I know what I'm talking about, okay? I was targeted by this cult. I was targeted by the highest ranking Freemasons there are in the world. Facts. Because they know my power and they know my position and they know my destiny and they know the knowledge of truth that I'm here to present to you. Everything that's published in my books are the real Masonic secrets you will never read anywhere else on this earth. Nothing like my book published. Period. You're dating, you could have been dating a fucking serial killer. All right? And you didn't even know it. Thank you, Spirit. Cover up. Definitely coming back. Disaster. Yeah, these people are about to face some karma. That's what I see here, okay? There could be some kind of surveillance going on in your neighborhood. All right? These people are perverted. Like, they groom these children. And here's what they do. Okay, they groom these little kids. I mean, they groom them from a baby. I watched it. I know what I'm talking about. From a baby. They make them sleep in the same bed and then they sexually assault them for years to get them prepared for their cult, to be used as a slave, sexual slave, and then they sacrifice them. Your spirit team is bringing revenge. They want revenge. They are pissed. That's the message for you. These people are about to face some serious karma, okay? And they don't even know it. Like I said, it's coming from outer space. Because just as much as there are bad or considered bad, okay, sentient beings that we can call reptilians, okay, for whatever it's worth, there are also good beings. Facts, all right? But for whatever reason, where we are now, Helena Petrovna Blavatsky said that Earth is the hell of another planet, and that was the truth. That is the truth. Okay, Mars got life on it still. Saturn got a hold. All of the planets have life on them. Venus, everything you've seen with Nasha is a lie, right? Nasha in Hebrew means deception, the serpent. Yeah, something about these mountains. Okay? Something high up. Okay, fraud. So they tried to, there's some kind of fraud from high up. That's being exposed. It could have been your partner involved in this situation, a caregiver. They also do that. That's where they target. That's why I always tell people, don't put your family in any of those homes. Ever. Period. I mean, and if you do, you got to be, careful about it. You got to be smart about it. Yeah, there's something here that's, okay, Eight of Pentacles. A double confirmation here. So your self-mastery has essentially what has caused this reversal. So you have been guided and directed to break generational curses, all right? And this cult is not happy about it. They're not happy that you're standing up for yourself, that you're able to manifest, okay? So something out here is being revealed. This tower is tearing down some kind of a false. They built up this lie. They built up this tower. And then what it really represents, what I was telling you, is the electromagnetic poles of the earth. The magnetosphere of the earth becomes confused, the dipole component. So right now you have less than 46% of 100% dipole, meaning as soon as it's waning. So when it hits 0 point is when the veil is non-existent. So that point is what they refer to as the pralaya, the obscuration period, or the ekpyrosis, the day of burning and fire and of judgment. The ekpyrosis in Egypt, the day of fire and burning. That's when the beast turns on Babylon. The waters of confusion. She sits upon many waters. Underneath this tower and surrounding it is a moat of water. So there's a false structure that's built up within the electromagnetic properties of the earth. That's how they're able to manipulate the fucking frequency bands, all right? That's how they do it, all right? They do it through these fucking Gwen towers in here, right? And all these fake cell towers they got out here, right? You don't know what the frequencies really are here? Look at those cell towers. Take a look at them. Look up Gwen Towers. Gwen. It's magic. That's really what it is. They're fucking with the frequency bands in order to affect our consciousness, okay? In order to create a slave race. These people believe that every one of us is nothing but chattel, cattle. That's how they view us, because their overlords view us like that. These disgusting reptilian scum. And the queen of the damned. They're going down, okay? And I don't think they really even see this. Yeah, they can't fuck with your destiny. They can't mess with your wheel of fortune here, all right? Everything is turning in your favor here. And they know that. Listen, when they study these birth charts, when they target the chosen ones, okay, this is an elaborate scheme. You got to understand, this is real. Okay, when they target the chosen ones, they know who your soulmate is. Like they've been following your generations for thousands and even more than that. They know, and I'm not saying all of these people. I'm saying the higher up. They know the 10 mental inclinations of your consciousness that existed in every life that you lived. Okay? This is essentially what the 10 swords is. The 10 swords signifies your bloodline as well. It's just in the mental plane or the astral plane. Okay? And those, let me give you another example for my tarot aficionados. Okay? The tarot is divided by the 22 major trumps, right? The major arcana, okay? And the 56 minor arcana. Now, the 56 are divided into the quadrant of 4, all right? And those 4 are the 4 elements, but they represent the distinct divisions of the lunar cycle. So the 56 cards in tarot actually deal with the lunar cycle. Everything does. Everything's about the moon because the moon is artificial. It's not real. It's a hologram. Ooh, Jesus. It's not real. It's legerdemain. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why they're able to manipulate that light, because it's a machine. It like captures souls. It keeps us stuck in the cycle of time. That's why that's why we are stuck here astrally. We have to work very hard to travel. Some people don't, okay? All right, but everybody else does. Because our consciousness is trapped in the cycle of the moon and that astral light, which is a false light. This is the light of the moon. This is not real, okay? It's not a real God. It doesn't even exist. It's a scientific principle. It is a form of consciousness, but just not what we think, okay? Yeah, these people are under judgment. Some kind of doors opening up here because justice is here. Like I said, double confirmation to that. So they're coming after your bounty, your blessings. So you may be the last in your generation, okay? That's why they target you. Because they already know who you are before you're born. I'm telling you. They know who's here to shake some shit up, okay? And that's why they put you in conflict. 5 wands. And in all actuality, these 5 and these 10 wands, what I say, your generational curse. So they want to put that burden on you. They want to keep you stuck in the 5 wands, because at the 10 wands, you're the last one. That's it. Okay, you come to 10, and then you come back around in a full circle. There are only 9 numbers. 5 wands and 5 swords. So they're like dividing. These people are trying to divide and conquer, yo. Like they're coming for your generational wealth, because you must have some kind of divine mission and purpose on this earth that is so great that you may not see it. And when you reach a certain age in your life, okay, like say some people receive their blessings early on in life. Others don't receive their blessings when all the stars line up, okay, in your birth chart, till later in life. That's why you always hear, they say, oh, you write a book, but most people don't write a book until they're like in their 50s. For real. Till they've gained all that life experience and knowledge and so on, right? Something about the book of life. That's what the scroll of life is. The scroll is a spiral, and it's bound up in the cerebral spinal cord by the 7 endocrine gland centers, the 7 chakra, the 7 wheels of fortune. Each chakra is a wheel, okay, and a metal. Now, that's not literal. Those metals were dealing with spiritual alchemy. And how do you alchemize metals in the blood? Okay? There's a way to change. And this is what the ancient initiates knew, those who were in the temples. And that's the real secret of tarot, is spiritual evolution. It's nothing, it really is nothing else, okay? It's the genetic code of consciousness. There's something in your blood here, okay? They're coming after. So you could be giving birth to somebody through your bloodline in time, okay? The temperance angel out here again. So you're being the alchemy. So in the blood, excuse me, the metals in the blood, the constituent energy in the blood is alive, okay? That's why Adam was Aleph, Daleth, Mem. In Hebrew, Dam, Daleth and Mem is water, Daleth is the door, okay? The door or the gate of water. And the spirit was Aleph, the motive force that moves the spirit, or Ruach, right? The breath of life, or Kaya, all right? That's in the blood. So the metal constituency of our blood, iron, all those things are what the metals in the planet signify in our chakras. So when we do the meditative practices and so on, we can affect the blood. And then there's a choroid plexus inside the brain, all right, where your structure of your visual cortex is and the optical lenses are connected to the pineal gland, all right? And this is what the tower actually is. That's where your crown is, my friend, right here, okay? You can change by altering the chemical constituency in your blood. That's what the temperance angel actually does. It tempers it with temperature, applying heat to the vessel, or the athanor, which is the furnace. And that fiery furnace is the body. That's the fiery furnace that Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego were sent into, or Mishael, Hananiah, and Azariah, their original names. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego were the names that were given to them by the Babylonians, okay? So there's something here, like you're refusing to bow down to the image, this false image of Nebuchadnezzar. And 9 swords. Something could be here. Yeah, you could be justice to the 9 swords. Something here has got you up at night, concerned, worried. But I also think these people, yeah, some kind of magic. 9 swords of magic over the justice from the devil. Triple confirmation to the devil here, okay? You see, the devil is like the false god. It's a false image. It's like those projectors, okay? That's what, like, if you look into some of that technology, like they can project things into the sky. I mean, that's what Project Bluebeam is, right? We're all waiting for that to go down. We're like seeing like parts of it go down in time, but like that is part of the New World Order agenda, my friends. It's Project Bluebeam, okay? To deceive the world. That's what it is. And so that's what the devil does. The devil is the father of the lie. It's the false constructed image in our pineal gland. And that is created by this magic of 9 swords, okay? So you might feel like you're facing some kind of a monster. You're facing a monster. This person is a monster. This toxic female, this couple, okay? These are monstrous individuals. They're demons, okay? They may not know what's going on right now. They're being blinded to something about you. They're not seeing this. They're not seeing the reversal of their energy. Okay? Spirit. So you got Jupiter here in expansion twice to the Wheel of Fortune and 6 wands. So something that you are doing to your 10 pentacles. All right, well, I mean, if you want to give a bum a crumb, hit me up, bro. joking. Calm down. All right. 6 wands of success and of victory. You have a very strong spiritual connection to the source and the Most High God. You're a high priestess. You receive divine communications, downloads. Okay. So you're receiving, or you've already received knowledge about this. You could be involved in some kind of legal proceedings. All right. Let's see what we got here. Spirit. What's going to happen to these people? So your 8 pentacles is what leads you to your 6 wands. Okay. Yeah, these people are perverted. Beyond perverted. Lord have mercy. Okay. Spirit. There's some kind of cover-up out here. All right. And look, they use the justice system. I mean, I found out myself the hard way, right? That they got everybody everywhere, okay? And when you're targeted, I mean, it's like John Wick. They push a button, or they put a thing on a thing, and everybody knows about it. Everybody's getting communication. This guy's targeted, and everybody's coming for you. And that's the truth, okay? That's actually a true story. On some level, right? Like Eyes Wide Shut. Put those 2 movies together. There's your Hollywood death cult. There's your Masonic Hollywood death cult. Holly weirdos coming after your 10 pentacles. Triple confirmation. All right, so you got abundance, like, ooh, spirit, abundance. To the moon. Ooh, what did I tell you? Double confirmation I hear. Venus to the moon. So you're very compassionate. You have the ability to manifest. That's what the wheat is. This is the imagery. So the Empress she imagines. She's like an astral projection within. Okay? She works on the imagery and then impregnates subconsciousness. That's why she's always considered and shown with like holding a child or a baby. Here the child, you'll see it like here with the Venusian symbol of the heart. She'll hold the heart, which is the child, right? The child of the Aeon, the new age, because she's crowned with the 12 stars and she has the 7 pearls. 7 and 12. The zodiac signs and the 7 planets, okay? They crown her head. This is the Queen of Heaven. You see, they deliberately mixed up the tarot. What did I say? Success. I'm not trying to give you the finger, I promise. So they're not... Your spirit team is coming through for you, busting a cap in these narcissistic asses. What did I say? Because you're the star. So there's something about you that's glamorous, that stands out. These people are jealous of that. You got people that are rich, maybe even famous, rich and famous, that are jealous of you. Of your 10 cups? Yeah, they weren't able to sacrifice you, were they? Huh? So now what are they going after? They're going after your kids. That's what they do. They're sick scum. Okay? But whenever they target you, it's almost like you can't do nothing. All right? You can't get a job. All right? You already know. You gang stalked. Okay? You already know. All right? You ain't getting your 9 pentacles. Okay? That's what they coming for. And your ace? Okay? They stop that. They basically are, I mean, they sent out a spiritual APB on a ninja, okay? And that's part of their black magic and their death cult, their ritual. And they just laugh about it and get off on it. It's so disgusting. These people need to be eradicated, all right? Completely from this earth. Facts. High Priestess. Again, double confirmation. So you are highly gifted and intuitive and psychic, and you have the ability to discern things that others don't, okay? I feel like this is, again, double confirmation is what these people are in. This energy, they're trying to escape their karma, all right? And these 9 swords. Triple confirmation. Keeping you in mental anguish. But I feel like this is all like a training ground for you, okay? to escape this energy. That's quadruple confirmation to the devil energy. Yeah, they got their eyes on you. They focused on you right now. You got somebody in this cult that's really, really obsessed with you, okay? And they want to put you out. Okay, so you must be somebody very important, very special. You got somebody, you could be, it's like this, like some people will write books, right? They don't reach the fulfillment of all the information that they could have provided, right, in their lifetime. But they provided just enough to get that other person that picks up your book and takes it another distance. You get what I'm saying? So they are trying, they constantly are trying to stop the flow of truth and information being revealed through our bloodlines. That's why they created this horribly disgusting and evil system that they have us living in, thinking that this is the way it's supposed to be, and it's not at all. There have been such beautiful world civilizations on this earth before. I mean beautiful, in peace, love, all that. Not perfect, but harmonious, okay? And then we were infiltrated. So something, you know, and there's a lot of history to that. I don't know all the truth, and I could sit here and tell you everything about the Sumerians or whatever, but that's not nothing. The Sumerians came up from underneath the earth or from out of the sky in a spaceship somewhere. But before that, we've been on this earth for millions and billions of years. In fact, humanity, as we know it, originated on Mars. Now, this is your spirit team, okay? And this is the outcome. So whatever it is that's been happening to you in your life, it's being alchemized and transformed and transmuted, all right? This kind of energy is where you get, this is the healing energy. This is the healer. This is the earth angel and the healer, okay? And it is considered a feminine aspect. That's why the head is in the shape of like an eye, okay? With the eye right there, the crown of the solar logos, or the word. The solar logos. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. In the beginning, Barashit, Shem Ha'aretz Elohim. Bara, eminent, shit, 7. Elohim, pi. 7 times pi, 22, your geometrical circle, the development of the cycle of time. Okay? Something has manifested and given birth through the words, through inscriptions, sigils, a new beginning. A birth. So they don't want this child of the new Aeon to be born in truth. Interesting. Interesting. So they tried to cut it off before it could even get anywhere. They're trying to cut you off so they can cut off whoever's going to be coming through your lineage. Okay, so you must have something special in your blood. The spirit is in the blood. That means all the spirits of Adam exist in our blood. We are the bloodline of Adam. And Adam is the earth. Aleph Deleth Mem, 144, the 144,000, my friends. Now the solar radius is 432,000 miles. I've said this before. 1/3 of the solar radius is 144,000. And that is what Mount Zion is, okay? And the lamb standing upon the Mount Zion is the initiation of the cycle of time in Aries. And this is the one, the measurer, okay? This is, what was his name in Egypt? The master builder, right? Type it in the comments for me if you get this far, okay? The master builder of Egypt. His name is slipping my mind right now for some reason. I feel like these people wanted to, I just got that image of dismember you. They were trying to dismember you, okay? Justice is here, again. So things are being balanced out here, okay? And these people have broken spiritual law. Yeah, they don't listen. Okay, this is the bloodline of Melchizedek, right? Again, you see the same kind of energy of the oval shape. So, excuse me. So the rod of Aaron, okay, Moses and Aaron, okay, Now, let me say this real quick before I say that. Moses was Mem, Shin, He. Okay? Mem, 40, Shin, 300, He, 5 by gematria. 3, 4, 5. The Pythagorean theorem. Facts. This is how they divide the cycle of time. It's all scientific. And Pharaoh, the Pharaoh was 3, 5, 5. Okay? 355 days is the lunar cycle. Now, the bloodline was passed down through the rod of Aaron. And that budding rod was the almond budding rod. That's why he's in the shape of an almond. Those are secrets. Okay? Yeah. What we got here? Okay. We're going to end here real quick. I appreciate everybody coming out. Let's get some angelic messages on top of this so we see what's going to happen to these people. There's some kind of hidden, something hidden in the justice system, some kind of judgment is bringing a tower to these people. You're being set free from these generational curses. Okay? Ooh. Yeah. Okay? Because you're innocents. So God weighed your heart and found you to not be lacking. Okay, Spirit, angels, what message do you have for the collective to end this message? Your life purpose. That's what they come for, and that's where you need to be directing yourself to. Your life purpose, okay? What you're here to do. All right, we are spiritual creatures. There's a lot of truth to these things that they don't want you to know, all right? Your life purpose deals with your bloodline, my friends. Your family, okay? And whatever this is, like I said, it was coming for you. It's a blessing in disguise, okay? So you may not be seeing things correctly as the way they really are. Like I said, because they put the spirit of illusion over you. They cast the spirit of illusion. And that's the father of the lies, right? Okay, your confidence, you need to be confident in your decision making and what you're doing moving forward as well, okay? Right, this is spirit. And you need to be honest with yourself about this situation. Okay? Don't lie to yourself, because the father of the lie, right? That's what keeps us stuck, is we don't know the truth. All right? We're seeking for that truth. Some of us have greater knowledge of that truth, okay, than others. Facts. But in essence, let me show you one thing real quick while I'm here so you can get it, okay? So you see the Hebrew letter Shin is fire. See the fire? 3 yods. Okay? The Hebrew letter Peh, the mouth. Aleph, you see it's the motive spirit. Lamed is like a crank that moves the spirit. Okay? And Mem, see Mem? Look here closely. That's the head, these are the arms, this is the back, and these are the legs, the feet. This is a human being bending down as a symbol of water. You see, there are conscious hieroglyphic archetypes of a higher state of consciousness. Thank you for being here today. I hope you got something out of message out of this. Whatever resonates, take that and leave the rest. For all my new subscribers and my new members, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Please like, please share, and please smash on that hype button if you can, if you will. And any donations to my channel right now are greatly appreciated in order for me to continue to move forward and bring these messages out to you. So thank you very much for being here, and may God bless you.